What's up, everybody? Rob coming back at you from Healthy You, where we help busy professionals, entrepreneurs, executives crush their insulin resistance so they can lose fat, regain their energy, and overall improve their quality of life. And one of the frequent questions I get is, Rob, who are you? What's your background? And, what are your qualifications or what's your expertise in this health and insulin resistance realm? And I think that's very important for us to kind of dive into. A lot of you guys who may be new to the channel or may just be new followers on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok may not know who I am or my background. You might just think I'm some random jacked guy who wears a hat and glasses on social media talking about insulin resistance. So I think it's very important to kind of pull back the curtain, reveal more about who I am, my, I guess, struggles over the years, and how I sort of developed this base of knowledge that I'm delivering to you guys now. So without further ado, let's get into it. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Rob. I'm the founder of Healthy You. Before we get into who I am now, it's important because you need to know who I used to be. So, to put this in context for you guys, I used to be 270 pounds and pre-diabetic. I used to have fatty liver and hypertension. I used to have left ventricular hypertrophy and enlarged right atrium. It basically had an enlarged heart. I had elevated cholesterol, blood sugar, tiredness and dizziness, brain fog, lack of memory, numbness in my hands and feet, skin pigmentation, and I was on a lot of medication. And I was diagnosed with this in like my mid-20s. I had a cardiologist and a metabolic expert tell me that if I don't do something, I'm likely not going to make it out of my 40s. And the latter 10 to 15 years of my life are going to be very, 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 very miserable. That's kind of what led me down this path of trying to learn more about my health and what I can do to mitigate insulin resistance and fix my prediabetes, because I used to suffer from it. But how did I get there? How did I become pre-diabetic? Like many of you, I used to jump from fad diet to fad diet, trendy supplement to trendy supplement. I used to do these soul-crushing workouts in the gym. I neglected my sleep. I did all of the things a lot of busy professionals and executives, entrepreneurs do. We work long hours and we think the best way to solve our problems is the stuff we see on social media. I would lose weight for a little while, and then I'd hit a big work project, family matter, crisis, and then I'd gain it all back again, and then some. I thought food and discipline was my problem. I thought I was undisciplined, and every time I fell off a diet, I would always, 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 always be hard on myself and think that I'm a failure and that I have no discipline whatsoever, like these guys on social media will tell you. As I said earlier, I worked a lot of hours at my job. I cared very much about my performance. I had family obligations. My lifestyle was very stressful, and it led to a lot of constant stress and binge eating, because that's what I used to cope with the stress. Doctors told me, like I mentioned earlier, that I would not make it past 45 years old. However, when I talked to the doctors about what I should do going forward, how do I best mitigate this, you know what their answer was? Their answer was to put me on more medication. Isn't that interesting? Their answer was to put me on more medication. Here, take this pill, take more of this drug. Here, we're going to send you to the dietitian. And the dietitian's suggestions were always super low calorie diets that were not sustainable long term. And even when I talked to the dietitian, they recommended that I only eat like 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day. I just knew that wouldn't work. I just knew it wouldn't work. Who I am now. Now that you know about who I used to be, who am I now? I have lost 90 pounds, crushed my prediabetes. I am no longer on medication, and I did this without bad diets, restricting food groups, injections, surgeries, long workouts, or extreme detoxes. I did it without any of that stuff. Here's actually what I did. I improved my eating habits. I found sustainable, healthy meals that I actually enjoyed. I made rest and sleep a priority. And I made my workouts and movement convenient and easy to do under most circumstances. I made a plan that was sustainable for me to do long term. And I utilized more tools around me to make this even more adaptable. I utilized more meal prep services, restaurants, delivery to fill the gaps on the go. Like I said, I didn't restrict food groups, and I relied on making a plan that was personal to me, my lifestyle, and I focused on forming habits and better decision making long term because I knew that's what would get me long lasting results. So, no, I am not a medical practitioner. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a trainer. I am not any of those things. I'm simply another person who used to suffer from insulin resistance, prediabetes, fatty liver, and many of the other things that come along with it. And I used to fall into all the same traps that many of you used to fall into that you see on social media. I did keto, I did carnivore, I did pescatarian, I did all those things, only to lose a little bit of weight and then gain it all back. Nowadays, I focus on a new way of dieting, a new way of attacking my health goals, which is creating habits and systems that are adaptable to my lifestyle. And that's what's worked significantly well for me. So no, I don't have the credentials of, say, your doctor or anything like that. I'm simply talking from my experience, as well as my experience working with over 50 other busy professionals, entrepreneurs, and executives in helping them create healthier lifestyles to also attack their own health issues. So hopefully this gives you more insight upon who I am. If you have any other questions about it, feel free to leave them in the comments. You can also follow me more on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I talk a lot more about my experiences in my stories and in my reels. So this guys will give you more insight on who I am as well. I have a lot of content on those platforms, so feel free to follow me on there as well. Also, I have the Healthy You program where I help others. If you are a busy professional who needs help reversing their insulin resistance and guidance, please feel free to book a call below where we can talk more about your goals and see how I can help. Anyway, I hope this video helps you guys. Please follow me for more. Smash the like button if you like this video, and definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell. Peace.